Ready for some spiritual manna? Ow! Just recently I was cutting an avocado and got a boo-boo and it's still bleeding. Those who don't like blood, sorry. But I'll do it without it. Hello and welcome to the Good Info Cafe, where multiple intelligences meet each day. Each day, I'm JK. I'm going to stop there. All right, so welcome to the Good Info Cafe. Multiple intelligences. I've broken it down to about 10. Haven't retyped them. The Good Info Cafe. This is my Saturday video. So in transition between phase 2 and phase 3, I plan to do a video on Saturday and on Wednesday, on the weekend and midweek, until I get things together. Potential job. So that might adjust things also coming up. I'll know by the end of this coming week. So I have my notes. My notes are to keep me focused because I could jump around. I can definitely do this without the notes, but I think I'll pack in more information for those visiting at the Good Info Cafe. And my covering, the one that my friend gave me from Saudi Arabia is somewhere in the house. I'm pretty sure in a box, I hope. But this one is also, could be from Saudi Arabia. It said Royal Mail on it. But anyway, I'm going to see if a song comes to me, a partial song. Whistle tone, I'm getting better at it. I'm only practicing it here on the videotape. So at some point now I know that I'll be able to control that even better and hit some of those whistle tone notes someday. We'll see if I have that opportunity. Subjects, birthmark. Are we in the end of an age? And I know many have answered that we are. But I'm going to still keep it as a question so that it can be answered as to why. So the regathering of the Israelites, or anyway, Israel in 1948 is a big prophecy. But the third temple hasn't been built, which, if I understand correctly, is not God saying to build the third temple, but that's when the Antichrist does the abomination of desolation in the third temple. But if I understand correctly, God, Jesus, in the second coming will actually be, the second coming will be on the Mount Zion, which is near the western and southern corner, southwestern corner of the outside and the partially inside the old city walls. And to restore David's tabernacle. Something about that. So yes, there's many things that have happened that would imply we're in the end of an age, and there's still, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 real big ones that haven't occurred yet. Something with the woman on the beast, a woman who has a man-child. I'm getting there. I'm learning. We can learn along, and some of you definitely know more than me, so put it in the comments. Okay, so related to that, falling in love with Jesus. I'm falling in love with Jesus, with God, in a spiritual, totally beautiful, human, spiritual way. And then the masculine and the feminine. Those are the subjects. And so related to the falling in love with Jesus, so far, I believe I can teach about only 30% of biblical concepts. And that's how I sign my name when I'm signing my initials or my name, JK, with the thing and the thing. It's kind of cool. So I feel comfortable saying that I can deliver 30% of the concepts of the Bible. The others I have to learn about and rely on you guys to help me with if it's biblical. I want everything to be biblical, but also supported by nature. Oh yeah, and once again, Sean, thank you. And Info Artist JK, that's me. Love your enemies. I think that's the nuclear weapon for this age that we're in. That sounds like the end of an age, the end of days, all that stuff. I'm going to go with end of an age because it ends in age, maybe called the church age, and then brings in the millennial 1,000-year reign of peace. My leading theory is Eashoa is what Mary, Joseph, Jesus' friends said. That's the sound that came out of their mouth because that's Aramaic. Eashoa. Eashoa, pass the ball. Eashoa, show me how to make that furniture. Eashoa, time for dinner. That's the sound. That's the leading theory at the Good Info Cafe. Now I want to be good info, so always leaving it open to someone giving better evidence. Just because someone says something doesn't make it true. There's a lot of people out there in this culture who are doing that. They say it, so that means it's true. You better believe me because I just said it. So much incivility. I am going to use, yeah, so let me see about, so, okay, then shrimp, the food with my own sauce that I made up, kind of with the avocados that I cut my finger that's still bleeding a little bit, little boo-boo. But it didn't, I have a high tolerance for pain, very high tolerance for pain. And I didn't even notice it when I was playing the guitar. So get out your food, stop the video. What is it? It's Saturday, so it's a little more emphasis on music. So I'm going to see if a song comes to me. I'm going to see if a song comes to me that I will write right here. On this video today, I'm gonna see if a song comes to me. I think that might be something there. I know I went a little out of key. See, comes to me. Out of key. And I had much more lung capacity studying voice with Todd Duncan. All right, so have your food. Maybe I'll hum the song I just wrote. Partial beginnings of a song. The smell. Yeah. All right, I'm going to say that one. If anyone wants to take that melody that I just did, gonna see if the song comes to me, something like that. And even though I changed the key, someone can take that and turn that to a song if they want. I'm giving permission. Here you have evidence on this video. If it doesn't get, anyway. So, the QOD, the question of the day. Is people's sex determination built in their blueprint, DNA, cells, information? So the blueprint is information. Is it imprinted when they're conceived, the XX and the XY? Or is it 99.99% and then those who are an anomaly to that, that's how I think nature works, that it's a very small percentage that would come out like that, and they need all the help, they need all the focus to deal with being confused or their genetics being an anomaly to the XX and the XY. everybody is in existence in God's creation. So here's another question. Maybe I'll ask that on Wednesday. Is there a seed of God in Adam and a seed of Satan? That's a big one. Maybe that could have been my question. Two questions for the day. The one I just said is people's sex determinant built in their blueprint, their information when they're conceived, and stays that way and always is that way. DNA, cells, XX, XY, and then the rare cases of the intersex or whatever that's called. Hermaphrodites, you know, that's what it used to be called. Those should be the most compassion and deal with anything that is out of the norm should get the most attention and love, and etc. So the grade that I did, I want to clarify about celibacy. So it's specifically, and I put it in the notes, required celibacy is a 0. Gets a 0. Required celibacy. Now, in terms of masculine and feminine, what's accurate about masculine and feminine? That's why I asked that question. It's important to know that. And there are people who are anti-science and seems like they are going against XX and XY, the people who are against science. And then access. There's a lot of information we don't have access to. What's the context? Is it clear, relevant, refined in terms of masculine and feminine? Oh yes, so here we have the most feminine traits and the most masculine traits. Oh, there's my finger there, still bleeding a little bit. So nobody has only feminine traits and nobody has only masculine traits, but all men have masculine and feminine in them, and females have feminine and masculine in them. And maybe we identify the most feminine person in the world and the most masculine person in the world. They still have some feminine. So that's kind of building the foundation for the discussion. In the Thoughts for Food Back Kitchen Lab, remember, a lot of this stuff is a lab, and I see the time. So, birthmark. Yeah, so some really interesting things about my birthmark, and that is that everyone that's a seed of Adam and God and Abraham and whatever has a birthmark from God, that they obey Jesus, that they walk with Jesus and share his love, show the love of Jesus. That's in a sense a birthmark during born again. So I'm very clear with my distinction. That I was born with, and it's in the shape of the most contested city in human history, the Holy City, the city of truth, the city of peace, which it's not at peace. You know, it is back and forth, up and down. So I think that's it so far. But yeah, I've dealt with the masculine and feminine. Falling in love with, so that's the last part, is as I'm writing my my Serenity Prayer, my version of the Serenity Prayer, and this is the latest version, and it's going to be changed significantly, well, about 10-20%, because I have some other concepts I want to put in there. I'm falling in love with Jesus and God. It's really powerful when you focus on that. And if I get this job that I'll know by the end of this week, that'll be a good thing, and I'll believe that's what God is saying. But I hope that I can give as much time to God as I have in the last 3 months, 4 months, because that's what that song, I miss my time with you. This is God speaking. Those moments together, I need to be with you each day, and it hurts me when you say, now this is the person giving the excuse, you're too busy, well no, it's still God speaking, busy trying to serve me, but how can you serve me if your spirit's empty? There's a longing in my heart. I think that's it so far. I think that's it so far. I think that's it so far.